There's something incredibly powerful about sensing a shift deep within your spirit, a subtle pull that urges you to move, to change, to evolve. Maybe you've been feeling it lately. The sense that where you are right now, emotionally or physically, no longer fits, like you've outgrown your current season. You might not be able to explain why, but something inside you knows your life is about to transform. You're not chasing love, but you can feel that love is seeking you. That's no accident. That's alignment. That's divine timing at work. And most of all, it's the beginning of a sacred journey, a journey that leads you straight to your divine partner, who is already preparing a new space, a new life, a new chapter that you are meant to walk into. Before we go deeper, I want to encourage you to stay with this message until the very end. There is power in clarity, and this video may bring you a level of peace, confirmation, and forward motion you've been craving. If something stirs within you as you listen, drop your warmest wishes and the number 77 in the comments. This not only affirms your spirit's truth, but also sends a signal to the universe that you are ready, willing, and aligned. Let this be a collective vibration of manifestation, of hearts lighting up and souls linking across the unseen threads of fate. There's a divine orchestration happening right now. You may not see it yet, but things are moving for you behind the veil. Life has been setting the stage quietly, patiently, preparing not only your heart but someone else's. This is someone who matches your energy, not just in appearance or interests, but on a soul level. They've been doing their inner work just like you, healing their wounds, breaking cycles, praying for clarity, and shedding versions of themselves that no longer serve them. They are preparing for a love that doesn't just fill space, it expands it. And the most beautiful part? They're not where you are. Literally, geographically, emotionally, spiritually, they are in a new place. And that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Your divine partner is not stuck in your past. They are not someone you've already tried and failed with. They are not circling in the same environment you're trying to break free from. This connection is not a replay, it's a renewal. It's going to require movement, courage, and a willingness to let go of what's familiar. Because love like this doesn't arrive when you're clinging to what's comfortable. It comes when you're brave enough to walk into the unknown. And that unknown, that's the new place. That's where alignment happens. That's where destiny lives. Many people miss their divine partner, not because they're unworthy of love, but because they resist the transition that brings them into alignment with it. It could be a new city, a new job, a new state of mind. Sometimes the move is internal, a decision to let go of bitterness, to forgive, to believe again. Sometimes the move is literal, a relocation, a leap of faith, a brand new zip code where your frequency finally matches what you've been calling in. And when you arrive there, energetically or physically, it won't just feel different, it will feel right. It will feel like you've known this place before, even if you've never been there. That's the magic of alignment. It awakens familiarity in the unfamiliar. It's important to recognize that divine partnerships are rarely random. They are soul assignments. And for a soul assignment to begin, both parties must be in the right space to receive it. Sometimes you're ready, but they're not. Sometimes they're ready, but you're still caught in the past, repeating loops, holding on to false hope, or staying places you've already outgrown. That's why the message is clear. Your divine partner is waiting, but not where you've been. They're waiting in a new place. The moment you begin to move toward your higher path, you also begin to move toward them. NNSO. Many people ask, where's my person? But the more potent question is, where am I being guided? Because your guidance is never separate from your love story. In fact, your love story is a part of your guidance. Every time you feel pulled to explore a new opportunity, take a risk, start over, or follow a dream. It's not just about career or growth. Sometimes it's about alignment. Your spirit is being magnetized toward the very place where your divine connection is set to unfold. Then you may have already seen signs. Repeating numbers, dreams of unknown cities or faces, a restlessness that keeps growing, a nudge that won't go away. These are all gentle whispers from the divine saying, prepare. Not just externally, but within. Prepare your heart to receive. Prepare your mind to let go. Prepare your soul to say yes. Because the old life can't hold the new love. The old stories can't hold the new truth. And the old you can't walk into the new chapter. You must evolve. And in that evolution you will align. Sometimes, meeting your divine partner is less about chance and more about change. It's not about waiting for them to knock on your door. It's about following the door that opens within you. When you feel something calling you elsewhere, that's not escapism, it's intuition. When you feel detached from your surroundings, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're being called higher. You're being separated for a reason, made uncomfortable so you don't settle, made restless so you move. Because your love story isn't unfolding in the same place your heartbreak happened. It's unfolding in the place where you begin again. Don't let fear convince you that you've missed your moment. Don't let loneliness persuade you to go back to what you've outgrown. The truth is, you haven't missed anything. Your divine partner hasn't passed you by. They've been journeying too. They've had their own delays, lessons, and awakenings. But they're moving, just like you. And the moment you step into your destined space, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or geographically, you'll feel the energy shift. You'll recognize them, not because they look a certain way, but because your soul will say, it's you. I felt you before. This connection won't require you to shrink, chase, or compromise your worth. It will ask you to rise, receive, and show up as your full self. It will challenge you, yes, but it will also heal you. Because divine partners aren't just about romance. They are about purpose. They remind you who you are, why you came here, and how powerful love can be when it's rooted in truth. They walk with you, not in front of you or behind you. And most importantly, they hold space for your becoming, just as you hold space for theirs. And you don't have to manipulate fate to find them. You don't have to force the timing or obsess over the details. All you have to do is keep following the pull, keep honoring the nudge, keep trusting the process. Because love, real love, the kind that awakens your soul and expands your life, isn't something you chase. It's something you align with. And the moment you say yes to that alignment, you say yes to everything that comes with it. And you are being prepared for something extraordinary. And it's not just about who's coming, it's about who you're becoming. Let yourself evolve. Let yourself move. Let yourself be guided. Because your divine partner is not in the chaos you're leaving behind. They are in the peace you're moving toward. They are in the new place. The place your spirit already knows, even if your feet haven't arrived yet. Sometimes, the soul knows before the mind catches up. You might be walking through your daily routine, going through the motions, but somewhere inside you, something feels different. It's like an invisible thread is gently pulling you towards something you can't quite name. That's not your imagination. It's your intuition awakening to a new timeline. One where you don't just survive, you flourish. One where you don't just hope, you know. Because what's coming next isn't just an upgrade, it's alignment. It's sacred, and it's connected to someone who's been woven into your destiny long before you knew how this journey would unfold. And this isn't about fairy tales or fantasy. It's about resonance, the way your energy is recalibrating to meet someone else's, someone who has also been growing, searching, and preparing. Think about this. What if the delay you experienced in love wasn't punishment, but protection? What if all those nights you spent alone weren't voids, but vital seasons of preparation? You were being cultivated, strengthened, purified, so that when your divine partner appears, you don't just recognize them, you're ready to receive them. Because the truth is, divine love doesn't come into our lives when we're desperate. It comes when we're developed. NNTOO. Often, people think they need to fix themselves to be loved, but what they truly need is to find where they belong. Some environments will always reflect back distortion, no matter how much you grow. That's why this message is about more than just finding a person. It's about finding a place, a space that reflects your transformation. Because you can't meet your divine partner in a space that was built for your old self. You have to move, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sometimes even physically. You have to allow yourself to outgrow comfort and expand into clarity. Your divine partner is waiting in a frequency that requires your full presence. You can't access that frequency while carrying the weight of regret, fear, or guilt. You can't live in the past and receive your future. That's why healing isn't optional. It's essential. The more you release, the more you rise. And the more you rise, the closer you come to that divine connection. Because love that is sacred doesn't meet you in your brokenness to complete you. It meets you in your wholeness to amplify you. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be open. You have to believe that you are worthy of a love that doesn't just excite you, but honors you. A love that doesn't hide in shadows or survive in silence. A love that lives out loud, in truth, in presence. This kind of connection won't play games. It won't pull you into cycles. It will call you higher. And to experience that, you have to trust your own growth enough to follow it, even when it leads you away from the familiar. NNTHE new place may feel uncertain. It may even feel lonely at first. But it will also feel clean, free, alive. And in that space of newness, you'll begin to see things differently. You'll notice synchronicities you used to overlook. You'll attract people who reflect your new energy. You'll stop chasing and start receiving. And at some point, maybe when you least expect it, you'll meet someone who fits, not because you adjusted to make them fit, but because they were shaped by the same light you were shaped by. Your journeys will look different, but your hearts will mirror the same truths. You'll feel safe, not because you've armored yourself, but because they won't give you a reason to protect yourself. You'll feel seen, not because they understand every detail of your past, but because they're present enough to honor your now. You'll feel loved, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. This is divine partnership. It doesn't fill a void. It ignites purpose. NNTHE reason you haven't met them yet might be because you're still holding on to someone or something that dims your light. That's not judgment. It's awareness. We often cling to what's familiar even when it hurts us, simply because we haven't yet stepped into the unknown where healing exists. But your divine partner isn't hiding behind what's hurt you. They're not attached to the cycle that broke you. They are where your healing leads you. They are in the space where you feel free to grow, evolve, and be your full self without fear of rejection. You may be tempted to believe that all the good ones are taken, or that love just isn't for you. But that's a lie born from timing, not truth. You're not late. You're not left out. You're being guided, and that guidance doesn't make sense to everyone. Sometimes, even your closest friends won't understand the moves you're making. They'll ask why you're leaving the job, the city, the comfort zone. They'll wonder why you're single when you could be settling. But you'll know. Deep down, you'll know that you are being moved by something bigger than logic, something deeper than timing, something divine. That's the thing about divine partnerships. They don't follow schedules. They follow alignment. You can't control when or how they'll show up, but you can control whether you're available to receive them. That availability isn't about being on a dating app or attending events. It's about your energy. It's about your heart. Are you open? Are you willing to surrender what's safe in order to embrace what's sacred? Are you able to be still enough to hear the guidance and brave enough to follow it? Because this isn't just about meeting someone. It's about becoming someone. The person who doesn't settle. The person who doesn't chase. The person who doesn't beg for crumbs when they were born for the feast. You don't have to audition for divine love. You just have to walk in truth. And when you do, you'll see how everything that once broke you now blesses you. You'll see how all the closed doors were actually redirections, and you'll realize that nothing was ever wasted. Not the pain, not the weight, not the silence. It all led you here, to this moment, to this truth, to this new place. Your divine partner isn't the missing piece to your puzzle. They are a reflection of your completion. They don't come to rescue you. They come to run with you. They aren't intimidated by your purpose. They are inspired by it. And you'll know it when you see it. Not because of butterflies or fireworks, but because of peace. Peace that says, this is it. Peace that feels like exhaling after holding your breath for years. Peace that doesn't need to be explained, only experienced. NNSO, wherever you are on your journey, know this. Your path is sacred. Every step matters. Every detour teaches. Every heartbreak refines. And the more you embrace your path, the more clearly it leads you. You don't need to chase love. You just need to trust the movement. Trust the call. Trust the nudge that says, there's something more. Because there is. And it's waiting for you, not in the past, not in the noise, but in the quiet unfolding of the new. In the place where your divine partner is already preparing space for you. What if the love you've been praying for isn't lost? It's simply ahead of you, not behind you in your history, not hidden in your regrets, but waiting just beyond the version of yourself you're still becoming. That's the miracle of divine partnership. It's not stuck in the patterns you've already lived through. It's unfolding in the energy you're learning to embody. The energy of wholeness, clarity, and peace. The energy that finally stops trying to fix what's broken and instead chooses to build something new. That's what this season is calling you into. And that's exactly where your divine partner is waiting. At the intersection of your highest self and your boldest steps. This love isn't behind you, in the memories of almosts and maybes. It's in the momentum of becoming. It's in the new air you breathe when you stop replaying old stories and start writing new ones. Some part of you may still be looking for closure, but closure is not a prerequisite for arrival. In fact, sometimes you don't need answers. You need movement. And when you move, even if it's just within your mindset, you shift your entire timeline. You unlock possibilities that couldn't find you in your stuckness. You invite in the next chapter. Think about how many people stay rooted in situations that no longer nourish them, simply because they fear starting over. But what if starting over isn't the threat? It's the promise of alignment, the promise of something that finally makes sense, not just in your heart, but in your whole life. This isn't about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone who complements your growth, someone who sees you clearly, meets you fully, and walks with you willingly. And that kind of connection doesn't thrive in fear. It flourishes in freedom. Freedom is the foundation of all divine love. You must be free to say no to what doesn't honor you, in order to say yes to what does. You must be free to release timelines, roles, and identities that were built for survival, so that you can step into what was created for purpose. You must be free from needing approval, from fearing change, from doubting your own voice. Because divine love doesn't find you when you're begging to be chosen. It finds you when you choose yourself, again and again, until your vibration speaks so clearly, your partner can hear it across any distance, and they will hear it. That's the beauty of divine timing. What is meant for you will always recognize you, no matter where you are, no matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if you're miles apart or in completely different worlds. When the soul is ready, the meeting is inevitable. And when you arrive at that point, when your spirit finally feels in rhythm with your path, you won't need to perform. You won't need to question. The connection will feel like breath, like truth, like remembering Nan. There's a sacred reason why this love can't find you where you are now. It's because you're being asked to expand. Expansion isn't always loud. Sometimes it happens quietly, through the act of letting go, through the soft courage of believing in more, through the subtle shifts that begin in your heart. You might find yourself detaching from old conversations, declining invitations that once felt necessary, or craving new environments. That's not you losing your mind. That's you gaining alignment. You are shifting because love is shifting toward you. There is someone whose heart beats in harmony with yours. Someone who has also learned the lessons of waiting, growing, and surrendering. And they're not arriving with baggage. They're arriving with clarity. They're not looking to be rescued. They're looking to build. They don't want chaos. They want peace. And that's exactly why the two of you couldn't meet until now. Until you both learned that love without healing only recreates harm. That love without self-awareness only deepens wounds. That love without readiness isn't truly love. It's projection. NNBUT, this new love? It's rooted, it's conscious, it's mutual. And it lives in a new place. A place that honors both of your journeys. A place that doesn't punish your past, but doesn't dwell in it either. A place that holds space for growth, not perfection. That's what divine partnership looks like. It doesn't demand performance. It invites presence. It doesn't shame your scars. It sees beauty in them, and when it finds you, it will feel like home, not because it's comfortable, but because it's true. You are already closer than you think. Every step you take into your own healing, every time you choose peace over drama, boundaries over compromise, intuition over fear, you are moving closer. Every time you let go of something that used to define you, you make space for something that truly reflects you. And that space, that's where your divine partner will recognize you. Not in your masks, not in your pretending, but in your presence. Love is not hiding from you. It's preparing you. You're not being punished for wanting more. You're being positioned for it. And while it might feel like the waiting is endless, remember that transformation takes time. You are not just attracting a partner, you are attracting alignment. That takes patience. That takes trust. That takes radical belief in your own worth. Because when you believe in your worth, you stop settling for connections that confuse you. You stop holding on to people who drain you. You stop trying to force love into places where it was never meant to grow. Instead, you surrender, you soften, you listen, and in that softness, your path becomes clearer. The new place isn't just a location, it's a frequency, it's a way of being, a way of showing up in your life so authentically that the people meant for you can't help but gravitate toward your light. They won't come to save you. They'll come to join you, to mirror your growth, to amplify your joy, to create with you, not control you. And maybe that's the real miracle, that your love story doesn't start with finding them. It starts with finding yourself. And when you finally do, you'll realize that you were never really alone. You were just being refined, protected, elevated. So that when this love arrives, you'll be able to receive it without question. You'll be able to embrace it without fear. You'll be able to hold it with reverence. Because you'll know, you're not the same person who used to settle. You're not the same person who used to chase. you've evolved. And in that evolution, love evolves too. Nin So. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep trusting that this journey is leading you somewhere beautiful. Because it is. And in that beauty, your divine partner is already preparing a space for you. They may not know your name yet, but they feel you. They may not see your face, but they sense your presence. They are waiting in the new place, not to fix you, not to complete you, but to walk beside you as the sacred love you've always deserved. There's a quiet moment before everything changes, a stillness that feels both unfamiliar and sacred. You might be in that moment right now, the space between what was and what will be, where the noise of the past has settled, but the music of the future hasn't started playing yet. Don't rush this space. This is where divine alignment is born. This is where the soul breathes, before the leap. It may not look like much from the outside, but on the inside, transformation is already unfolding. You're not the same person you were a year ago, not even the same as last month. Life has been molding you, and with each layer you've shed, you've moved closer to the energy of your divine partner. They're not waiting for the old version of you. They're attuned to who you are now, who you're still becoming. And in this becoming, you're being called to enter new ground. Not just a new place, but a new posture. One of openness, one of trust, one that says, I don't need to know all the answers. I just need to follow the pull. When you've healed enough to trust yourself, you begin to move differently. You no longer stay where you're tolerated. You go where you're celebrated. You no longer entertain confusion. You wait for clarity. And you no longer abandon yourself to be chosen. You choose yourself and let others rise to meet you. This shift is what aligns you with the love that was always yours. It's what brings you into proximity with the person who can truly see you, not because they want something from you, but because they carry something that belongs with you. Some of the greatest love stories don't begin in a spark. They begin in a stirring, a subtle knowing, a whisper in the heart that says, this is safe. And when your divine partner shows up, they will feel like a lighthouse, strong, grounded, unwavering, not perfect, but present. And their presence will be enough to calm every part of you that once thought love had to be loud, dramatic, or hard. It won't be hard. It will be honest. And that honesty will open doors that no force could have unlocked. You see, the new place is not just a location on a map. It's a state of being where truth leads and fear no longer drives your choices. It's the internal space where you finally stop asking, will they choose me? And start declaring, I choose what aligns with me. That's the place your divine partner is drawn to. That's the space where sacred union thrives. And you don't have to beg for it, manifest it overnight, or hustle your way into it. You just have to say yes to the unfolding. Yes to the unfamiliar. Yes to the version of yourself that is rising like the sun after years of twilight. Maybe the journey has felt long. Maybe your heart has grown weary. That's okay. You're not wrong for feeling tired. You're not weak for having doubts. But don't confuse the delay with denial. What you're waiting for hasn't been canceled. It's being prepared. And you are being prepared too. Not just so you can recognize your divine partner when they appear, but so you can honor them once they do. This isn't just about falling in love. It's about being ready to love deeply, fiercely, and with divine intention. There's a sacred beauty in knowing you're no longer available for halfway connections. You've outgrown the need to force things. You've outgrown the illusion that proximity equals connection. You've realized that the people meant for your future will never require you to abandon your soul. And so, as you step into this new place, let yourself carry that truth. Let yourself carry the wisdom of every heartbreak, the strength born from every disappointment, and the softness that still lives in your hope, because even after all the lessons, you still believe. That's your superpower. The world tried to harden you, but you remained open. Life tried to wear you down, but you rose again. That kind of spirit doesn't go unnoticed. Your divine partner is looking for that same light, the one that burns even after the storm, the one that says, "I've been through the fire, but I didn't lose my warmth." And when two souls who've kept their light meet, they don't collide, they merge. Gently, powerfully, eternally. You don't have to worry about how it will happen. Just stay in the vibration of truth, of peace, of trust. Let go of needing it to look a certain way. It may not arrive on your timeline or match your checklist, but it will exceed your expectations in the most sacred ways. The way they listen, the way they show up, the way they speak your language without having to try. That kind of alignment can't be faked, and it can't be missed when your heart is ready to receive it. This isn't just about love, it's about legacy. The energy you create together will ripple through every part of your life. Your creativity, your health, your joy, your purpose, it all expands in divine union. Because real love doesn't shrink you, it stretches you. It opens you up to deeper truths, bolder dreams, and a more anchored version of yourself. It's not the love that saves you, it's the love that meets you where you've already saved yourself. And when you meet them, you'll understand why nothing else worked. Why the closed doors were necessary. Why the long nights had purpose. You'll realize that your divine partner was not delayed. They were being divinely timed for you, for your healing, for your expansion. And when your energies finally align, the connection will feel effortless. Not because it's without work, but because it will be built on something real. Something holy and so. Take a breath. Rest in the knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. The ache in your chest, the restlessness in your spirit, the longing that won't go away, it's all guiding you. Not away from love, but toward it. Toward the sacred, soul-rooted partnership that has always been written for you. It's not in the past, it's not in the struggle, it's in the place you are walking into. The place where your divine partner is already waiting, not as a fantasy, but as a reality that's drawing closer with every step you take into your own truth. You've already felt the signs, those subtle shifts in your environment, the way people are falling away, the sudden urge to declutter not just your home, but your heart. These are not random impulses, they are soul nudges. You're not just preparing for change, you're being prepared by change. You're shedding layers, both seen and unseen, to create space for something sacred to enter. And that something is not just a new chapter, it's a new connection. A divine one. A union that cannot enter your life until you fully step into the space it's destined to inhabit. NNTHE, new place is more than a destination. It's a vibration you rise into. It's an alignment you choose, again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it means walking away from almosts and maybes. Even when it means releasing the version of love that once felt enough, but now feels small. Because you've grown. And growth will always require new soil. Your roots are reaching deeper, and your branches are stretching further than ever before. That's why you can't go back. That's why love can't find you where it used to. You've evolved, and so must the space around you. You see, divine love doesn't meet you where you're pretending. It meets you where you're present. That's why the most sacred relationships don't come to people who are performing. They come to those who are rooted in their truth, unapologetically, softly, powerfully. And when your divine partner finds you, They won't fall in love with the mask. They'll fall in love with the essence. With your unguarded smile, your unfiltered laugh, your raw courage. They'll love the parts you once hid, because those are the parts that hold the most light. This is why your transition matters so deeply. Every decision you make to honor your inner truth, no matter how small, is a beacon. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you make your energy more magnetic. Every time you set a boundary, you refine your field. And every time you say no to what no longer serves you, you say yes to the love that's waiting in the wings. You may not see them yet, but they are already moving too. They are shedding old habits, leaving behind toxic dynamics, and clearing space in their world for you. And that's the beauty of divine connection. It's mutual, even before you meet. It's a dance of alignment. Two souls navigating their own paths with reverence until their growth brings them to the same sacred crossroad. And when you meet, it won't be a collision. It will be a convergence. You'll find that your lives complement each other not because you tried to make it happen, but because you allowed it to. You surrendered the chase. You let go of the timeline. And in that surrender, love found its way to you naturally. You won't have to overthink it. You won't have to analyze their every move or second-guess your worth. The connection will speak for itself. It will be quiet, but undeniable, gentle, but strong. It won't come to impress your ego. It will come to expand your spirit. And instead of drama, you'll feel depth. Instead of confusion, you'll feel certainty. Because when something is divinely sent, it doesn't need to be forced. It flows, and yet don't expect it to be without growth. Real love will stretch you. It will hold a mirror to your shadows as much as it amplifies your light. But it won't abandon you in that process. It won't shame your healing or weaponize your past. Your divine partner will walk with you, not ahead of you or behind you. They will see the beauty in your becoming, and they will honor the parts of you that once felt too fragile to share. This is not a love that breaks you. This is a love that builds on in. You will notice how the conversations feel different. They will be layered, meaningful, grounded in the now, but always pointing toward the future. There will be laughter, yes, but also substance. There will be affection, but also integrity. There will be attraction, but more than that, there will be emotional safety. And in that safety, your heart will finally rest. Not because you've given up on intensity, but because you've chosen intimacy instead. And one day, you'll look back on this waiting season and realize it wasn't a pause. It was a preparation. The delays were divine. The silence was sacred. The space was necessary. Because had you met your partner any earlier, you might not have been able to receive them. And they might not have been ready to receive you. Timing isn't just a concept. It's a spiritual technology. It ensures that you don't arrive at the destination empty. It ensures that you arrive full, whole, ready. NNSO. Don't fear the in-between. Don't rush the process. This is the cocoon stage, where transformation is invisible but essential. The new place you're walking into will require a new version of you, a version that doesn't settle, doesn't chase, doesn't shrink, a version that walks with grace, stands in worth, and leads with heart. That version is already rising. You can feel it, and soon you'll feel your divine partner rising too. You'll recognize them not just by how they look, but by how they make you feel. At ease, at home, at peace. Your intuition has been whispering this truth to you for a while now. Every time you've turned down something that looked good, but didn't feel right, you were moving closer. Every time you trusted your gut over your fears, you were aligning. And every time you chose to heal instead of harden, you were preparing. Don't underestimate the power of those small sacred choices. They've shaped your frequency, and that frequency is now calling in a love that's been waiting in a new place. A place that only the real you could reach. And when you finally meet them, it won't feel like fireworks. It'll feel like the stars aligned. It won't feel like you found a missing piece. It'll feel like two complete souls finally chose to walk together. Not because they had to, not because they needed to, but because they were free to. And in that freedom, they found something deeper than attachment. Connection. Real, raw, lasting connection. The kind that grows not in fantasy, but in the sacred soil of truth. There will come a moment, quiet, soft, and yet unforgettable, when everything inside you will say, "This is it." Not because you've reached some final destination, but because something within your soul finally clicks into place. That click doesn't come from finding someone to complete you. It comes from recognizing that you are already whole, and so are they. You meet not in your brokenness, but in your wholeness. Not in desperation, but in clarity. That's the meeting point of divine partnership. And that's what all this inner work has been for. And you're not preparing for just another relationship. You're preparing for the relationship that aligns with the life you're building. That means it has to meet you in the new place. Not just a new physical location, but a new energetic space. One where you've outgrown self-betrayal, people-pleasing, and settling for almost loves. One where your nervous system can rest because you're no longer performing for affection. One where the air feels clearer, not because everything is perfect, but because the love that finds you there is honest. It's tempting to believe love will come when we look our best, or when everything in our life is perfectly arranged. But divine timing rarely waits for polished versions of us. It finds us mid-transformation, mid-transition, mid-surrender. It finds us in the raw, in the real, in the radically honest places we never expected. That's why you might feel like things are unraveling just before they come together. That's not failure, it's preparation. Old timelines are collapsing so new ones can open. It may feel like chaos, but it's actually divine order in disguise. Think of all the versions of yourself you've had to let go of just to get here. The one who begged for love. The one who stayed when they knew they should have left. The one who feared starting over. You honored those versions. You learned from them. And then you released them. That release created a vacuum. A sacred space now being filled with love that speaks your language. A love that hears your silence. That respects your journey. That matches your frequency. And most importantly, a love that doesn't ask you to choose between them and yourself. When you meet your divine partner, there will be recognition, but it won't be from the mind. It will be from the soul. A familiarity that has nothing to do with history and everything to do with harmony. Their presence will feel like poetry written in a language only your spirit understands. You will not have to convince them of your worth. You will not have to earn their affection. You will not have to shrink, chase, or explain, because they will see you as you are and love you as you are becoming. This is what you've been waiting for. Not perfection, but peace. Not fantasy, but alignment. Not surface-level attraction, but soul-deep connection. The kind that doesn't just stir your heart, but anchors your spirit. The kind that inspires growth, invites vulnerability, and expands your capacity to receive. You've been training for this, not through perfection, but through persistence. Every time you healed instead of hardened, every time you forgave instead of retaliated, every time you trusted instead of feared, you are getting ready. This new place you're walking into may feel unfamiliar. You might not have a clear map, and that's okay. Sometimes, the soul leads us to places logic can't follow. Trust that pull. It's not leading you into isolation. It's leading you into preparation. And once you settle there, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, you will begin to notice a shift. People who match your new vibration will appear. Conversations will deepen. Clarity will rise. And in the midst of it all, your divine partner will emerge, not as a rescue, but as a reflection. They won't fill your emptiness. They will mirror your fullness. They will meet you in your center, not in your wounds. You'll be able to build, not from fear or fantasy, but from truth, from shared vision, from mutual respect, and most of all, from a shared willingness to grow. Divine partnerships are not built on ease alone. They are built on honesty. And when two people are willing to tell the truth about who they are and what they need, that's where real love begins. You've waited long enough, not just in the physical sense, but spiritually. You've been cultivating faith in unseen things. You've believed in a connection that hadn't yet materialized. You've stayed soft in a world that wanted to make you hard. That energy, that belief is powerful. It sends signals, and your divine partner has been receiving them. In their own quiet ways, they've been preparing too, not because they knew your name, but because they knew the feeling, the sense that someone was coming, someone who matched their depth, someone who felt like peace. And while they may have been with others, as you may have too, those experiences were simply mirrors, showing you what you need, what you won't accept, and what you must become. Divine love doesn't punish your past. It gathers its wisdom and builds something new. That's why when you finally meet, there won't be shame. There will be reverence. Reverence for the pain that shaped you, the strength that sustained you, and the divine hand that brought you together at the perfect time. NNSO, if you feel tired, keep resting. If you feel unsure, keep trusting. If you feel lonely, keep loving yourself in deeper ways. Because none of it is wasted, it's all part of the weaving. And somewhere, in a place you've never been, but are being guided toward, someone is doing the same. Not knowing when, not knowing how, but knowing, feeling, believing that you're out there, that something real is coming, that love is not lost, it's simply on the move. They may not be in your town, they may not speak your first language, they may not share your daily routine or your friend group, but they will speak your soul's language. And when that happens, the logistics won't matter. The energy will, the timing will, the purpose will, and everything else will align around that. Not by force, but by flow. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. And when it's right, you'll know. You'll feel it in your body, in your breath, in your stillness. You'll feel the peace that whispers, you don't have to search anymore. You'll see the reflection of everything you've been becoming mirrored in their presence. And you'll be grateful for every delay, every detour, every ending that brought you here. Because you'll finally understand the new place wasn't just about geography. It was about elevation. And in that elevated space, the love you always knew was real will be standing right in front of you. This journey hasn't been linear. It's been winding, layered, and deeply personal. But it's also been sacred. You've walked through emotional terrain that many wouldn't have survived. You've healed parts of yourself that no one ever apologized for hurting. You've stood in the ashes of who you once were and dared to rise again. That kind of strength doesn't just go unnoticed. It creates gravitational energy. And that energy is what's pulling your divine partner toward you, even now. They don't know all your chapters, but they'll understand your pages. They may not know the weight you've carried, but they'll respect the strength it took to carry it. You don't have to share the same past to share the same purpose. And when you finally meet, it won't feel like you've started something new. It will feel like you've returned to something ancient, a soul memory, a sense of, there you are. I've been walking toward you all along. You may have doubted this along the way. You may have told yourself, that maybe love just isn't meant for you. But deep down, you've never stopped hoping. And hope is a spiritual frequency that never fades. It simply quiets until you're ready to hear it again. It's speaking to you now. Can you hear it? It's reminding you that what you're moving toward is not fantasy. It's foundation. It's not temporary. It's timeless. And now, here you are, on the threshold of something you once only imagined. You've done the work. You've released what needed to be let go. You've opened yourself up, even when it felt vulnerable. You've chosen self-love over self-abandonment. You've turned down distractions that looked shiny but felt shallow. You've stayed loyal to your vision even when it got lonely. That loyalty has created alignment, and alignment always attracts what is meant. Nitrogen, and you might be feeling the tension of transition. That strange space where the old no longer fits, but the new hasn't fully formed. That's not a sign to retreat. It's a sign to keep moving. Just because you can't see the full picture yet doesn't mean it's not unfolding. The universe works in layers, in sequences, in divine precision. What you're sensing is real. What you've been praying for is moving closer, and the next step isn't about doing more. It's about being ready to receive. This is your reminder that you don't have to chase divine love. You only need to stay aligned with your truth. Your divine partner is not being delayed. They're being delivered. Into your timeline, into your atmosphere, into your reality. You are both navigating your own healing, but the convergence is already in motion. Every choice you make in favor of your truth accelerates the moment you'll meet. And when you do, you'll feel it instantly, not because it's explosive, but because it's familiar. They'll feel like peace, like home, like breath. You'll feel grounded, not because everything is figured out, but because nothing has to be forced. You'll feel inspired, not because they complete you, but because they recognize the divine spark you've always carried. This is not just love, it's resonance. You won't have to convince them of your worth. You won't have to shrink, bend, or dilute yourself to keep their attention. They will meet you at your frequency, and if they can't, they're not your divine partner. The real one, the one meant for you, will rise to your level, not pull you down to theirs. They'll match your depth. They'll respect your boundaries. They'll honor your healing. And together, you'll build not from fantasy, but from grounded, conscious love. And that's the beauty of the new place. It holds new standards. Not standards rooted in ego, but in self-worth, in divine design. You're not here to repeat old cycles. You're here to create new templates of what love can look like, of what it can feel like. You're here to embody a truth so bold, so clear, that anything not aligned with it simply fades away. That's the kind of love you're attracting. That's the kind of love you're preparing for. NNSO, breathe deeply. You're not lost. You're being directed. The things that have fallen away did so to make space. The longing you feel is not a lack, it's a prophecy. The emptiness is not a void, it's a sacred container being filled with exactly what your soul called in. Trust that. Trust the nudges. Trust the quiet call to move forward, to let go, to step into what's next, even if it's unfamiliar. Especially if it's unfamiliar, not in, because divine partnerships don't happen in your comfort zone. They happen in your courage, in your willingness to evolve, in your sacred yes to the unknown. That's where your partner is. Not in the place you left, but in the place you're being led. That's why it's felt different lately. Why your desires have shifted. Why your spirit is no longer satisfied with surface connections. You're being upgraded, and your love life is no exception. This connection won't just change your relationship status. It will change your self-perception. It will awaken your purpose. It will heal wounds you forgot you were still carrying. Not because your partner does the healing for you, but because their presence creates a safe place for your healing to rise. That's how you know it's real. It brings you back to yourself, not further away. One day you'll look across the room and see them standing there, doing something ordinary like pouring coffee or laughing with friends. And in that moment, you'll realize that the extraordinary was never about the grand gestures. It was about the alignment, the timing, the soul that finally found its mirror. You'll hold their hand and know that the journey, with all its delays and detours, brought you exactly where you were meant to be. NNSO, walk boldly now, not in arrogance, but in assurance. The path ahead is sacred. The love ahead is real. And your divine partner, the one who is never behind you but always ahead, is already waiting. Not in the past, not in the chaos, but in the new place. The place you're now ready to enter, with a full heart, a clear mind, and a soul that knows it's time.